I found the process of trial to be an amazing process and fell in love with it. I got interested in reading books by Jerry Spence, who is, in my mind, one of the finest lawyers this country's ever known since Clarence Darrow, and fell in love with working with people instead of corporations. My first jury trial was a police misconduct case. I remember knowing after the trial was over that I was exactly where I needed to be. I don't think I take those cases because other lawyers have turned them down. I take cases because I know in my gut that they are just and right, that he has been badly treated in some fashion or some form. Maybe I think a little bit further outside the box than other lawyers. There's only one place that I can think of that the David and the Goliath are on a playing field that is perfectly level. The Galen Richies of the world can go do battle with the billion-dollar corporation on the other side and know that when he walks in the courtroom with his or her lawyer, that the playing field is going to be perfectly level. The other thing that drives me to get up every morning over and over and over again is knowing that when I get to the office, something I do in their case is going to advance that ball down that level playing field and help them find what they're asking for, help them find peace, really, in their life, help them find justice. Well, okay, it's one thing to say I'm seeking justice, but really, when you drill down on that word, what is that? When people are in court and they're having their day in court, they say, I'm seeking justice, but what does that mean? What's under that word? And for the people that I represent, I believe that it is the knowledge that when the jury renders their verdict and enters judgment, that someone has listened to them and listened attentively to what they need. They've cared for them. That means a lot to me. And I think when you boil justice down to its essence, that really what it's about is people just want to be heard. We are not in the business of business. We are not in the business of making widgets or pumping out a product. We're in the business of developing relationships among myself and my clients, among my clients and the jury, the judge, in a much broader sense than just a relationship between me and my clients. I grew up in a small town. Growing up, my dad would actually take me with him to Columbia to make hospital calls. In fact, that's where I first learned how to drive. He would go up to the hospital rooms and I'd drive his little Opel station wagon around the parking lot. My grandfather and my father and their wives were all about helping other people, became a part of the cloth that I was cut from. When you get a phone call from someone like Galen or from Caden's mother, you're being called by them at perhaps the lowest ebb of their life, the lowest time they've ever experienced in their life. And so they're stripped down, completely raw when they first meet you. And so when you meet them in that circumstance, you're meeting them stripped down to nothing. And during the process of of their case, you're building them back up again. And so over that course of time, I think only naturally you become a part of them. My pet peeve in my cases is the same pet peeve I have in life, which is a lack of tolerance for intolerance. I have a pet peeve for people who don't appreciate where someone is coming from, or don't care to even know or appreciate where somebody might be coming from. And I guess you could add that that pet peeve as one of the things that drives me in my career, because when I run up against that on the other side of the case, from either the other lawyer or the way that my client is being treated by their employer or by the person that hurt them, that makes me work that much harder on the case. This is part of my fiber, is to help other people and to protect other people. We will never resolve a case because it's the expedient thing to do. We will never resolve a case because it will maximize the amount of money that will go into my pocket. We will resolve a case for one reason and one reason only, and that's because it's the best decision for our client, period. We are collaborators on any given case. We have a team approach, and no one person's ideas are better than the others. No one person's ideas are going to trump another person's ideas. And when something good happens in the case, then I try to give credit where the credit belongs and not take the credit for myself. In the end, when the case is all over, and for some of these folks it's been years since it's been over, I hope they look back on it and say, you know, looking back on that experience, I really don't know what I would have done without his help, because I couldn't have done it without him. And I hope they would say 4, 5, 6 years later, he really cared about me, and that really made a difference to me. He really, really cared about me and my family. Do they have a heart? Do they care? Do they want to help? Are they going to help me? That's what's going to make the difference. When I think of a client that has a problem of the type that we help people with, I wonder how in the world can they sort through what they have to sort through to find the right lawyer for them, the right advocate for them, the right person that's going to give them the strongest voice and the best chance to succeed.